This Earth of yours will be reduced to a burned-out cinder.
Real wrath of God type stuff. Biblical.
No, not yet.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
I came here to give you these facts.
Dogs in camp, living together. Mass hysteria.
We're going to live on. Today, we celebrate.
Flabbergasted by the Audacity. That's so weird.
If I'm gonna shoot, I see that.
This is some like Mandela effect. Anytime I hear anyone who doesn't listen to rock or metal, they always call it Enter the Sandman, even though it's just Enter
Is
Sandman.
it not that?
It's just.
Is it actually called?
There's no the.
Oh, I never knew that. I really thought it was that.
No,
That's funny.
It's weird because it's not just you. It's so many people make that mistake, and I have no idea why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I guess it was those Mandela effects where we kind of all collectively agree that's enter. Because I think it's just proper English. If you say enter the Sandman, not enter. Well, no, you could say both, depending on.
Yeah, because like his name is not the Sandman. It's just Sandman.
Yeah, because you like enter Sandman, you could say it like that. You know, that's true. Okay.
Yeah, like they both work, but it's just not how it is.
This is not the song.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyways, welcome to Podcast of Audacity. I'm Jamal.
And I'm Patrick.
I swear, I feel like I'm just saying that faster every single time.
You're speeding it up. I don't know why.
I don't know. But so I mean, I don't have a lot of political stuff. I have more Canadian political stuff than American for the first time in a fucking while. Like.
It's a nice change.
But what
of
I
pace,
do want to talk about first,
but I have no idea what's going on with Canadian politics.
That's good. But let's go over that plane crash. First of all.
Yeah.
That's
That's like the
Toronto,
third in 2 months, something like that.
It's a little crazy. They were talking about that on the news. That's what I was watching on the news last night. How they're saying 4 crashes in America, now 1 in Canada. Putting the aviation safety like under the microscope. Like, is it really that safe? Like, what's going on? And it's tough, you know. It's really hard to like people like me who I hate flying. Like, this is not helping my fear of flying whatsoever, you know. But what I will say is that from what they're telling us, and it is true. If you look at all the cases, it's not a there's no trend. You know, one was the helicopter. This one was the strong winds. I think there was 2 others that were also different circumstances for this to happen. You know, so I don't really see this being like a trend of any sort. But it is scary. It really is scary. I'm glad that everyone was alive on the Canadian one. I think it's really good to reinforce for people to wear their seatbelts, because that was the main reason why they survived, was because they had their seatbelts on. You know.
Yeah. Funny enough, I was actually watching a video going over the crash, like just before we started recording.
Okay.
And because I didn't know anything about it, I was just like wondering, why did it flip over? What the hell is going on?
They still don't know.
Well, from the video I saw, because it's a pilot, so he has a bit of expertise in it, right?
Okay.
And I didn't know. Apparently, one of their landing gear didn't come down, like a malfunction.
Oh.
And they descended a little too fast, possibly due to winds. And so it came down, obviously with one of the rear landing gear not being down, it came down uneven, which caused a wing strike on the right side. And there was also snow on the runway, so it caught the snow, causing drag instantly. And essentially pulled the wing off, which caused rotation of the entire aircraft, and it just flipped over.
Okay, well, you know, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah.
So I was watching that video, and that looked like me lining up playing in GTA 5. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I'm not a pilot, I know that, but he hit that ground hard.
Yeah.
But what I will say, and maybe this is just me being older now, I just don't quite understand that you just flipped over in a fucking plane. What's the first thing you do? Take out your phone to record it? I don't get that part. Like, I really don't. I don't understand your mindset behind that. I'm getting the fuck off the plane. Like, maybe after, like, I'll be inside the fucking airport terminal and I'll take a video of the plane upside down and go, I was in that. But not in the, like, the guy's filming it as he's getting out of the plane. I'm like, dude, like, are you serious? Like his thought must have been
not helping anyone or anything.
Oh, it's like his thought must have been, man, I'm gonna be on every fucking like news outlet for the next 2 weeks. Like that's probably his mindset. It's gotta be because it's like he was on the video that I saw was taken from NBC, that was taken from ABC. It's like, oh yeah, there you go. He got what he wanted, I guess, technically.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't get that part.
At that point, it's like muscle memory. You're so used to like seeing all these videos online, and any event that happens, and everyone just instantly pulls out their phone to document it. And even
I guess, yeah.
like, even going out and doing things, like you're automatically inclined. Oh, we got to take a photo. We got to take a video. We got to post about it. And so I think it's like built into people's minds at this point. Which is...
And then there was like a girl too, and she was like, oh my god, I just survived the plane crash. Oh my god. I'm like, yeah.
Must
great.
have been really traumatizing. So traumatizing, you could pull out a phone and cry on camera and upload it to all your friends, family, in the
bro,
world.
it's so. Like I said, I love like watching those TikToks. Like I just saw a TikTok today. It's like, get ready with me, with my boyfriend who just broke up with me 3 days before Valentine's Day, which is fucked up. Like I'll admit that part.
That sounds like a comedy sketch. The setup.
Bro, but I've seen it. This is actually it's quite common, which is funny. But
what? Get ready with me, and I'm very sad. Is that's common?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
On TikTok it is. Yeah, it's like get ready with me like post breakup or like no contact with my ex and all this stuff. I'm just like, you took time out of your day to film this, and so like, and I know there's a very small niche of people who probably do appreciate it. Cause I know there's probably girls out there who like maybe don't have like a good support or friend group. I'm gonna try to figure out like, is this normal? Should I feel like this? And then probably to see someone else feeling like that will make them validate their feelings. But the other 95% of the population could not give less of a fuck. Like,
yeah, I was gonna say I don't think social media is the answer to that.
No, I would just send the video to like the girl personally, like.
It's like I keep coming across this on Facebook, especially. It's the "Am I the asshole?" setup, right? Where
I love those.
It's so dumb. It's always obvious. It's always incredibly obvious what the answer is.
I stabbed somebody and my friend's mad at me. Am I the asshole? I don't know.
My girlfriend cheated on me. Am I the asshole? Like, bro.
Yeah, like come on, guys. I don't know. Some people are, but it is what it is. Some people are really just, rely on the internet, to help them, which is concerning to a certain degree because yes, it doesn't have like all your answers. But speaking of that though, and just going off to another area of internet where it could have been used to help somebody. I'm not sure if you heard about this, but in Montreal, of course, I'm not sure if you knew, in Canada, last couple of days, terrible 2 days of snowfall. That we've had more snowfall in the last week than we had in total last year. Just to give you a demographic of how much snow has fallen.
It was
right?
a hell of a lot. Those two storms pretty much back to back. That was pretty wild.
Yeah, basically. I'm not sure. I know you've probably seen the streets that we don't know where to put it right now. It's worse in Montreal. I was there a couple days ago for to go see a movie, which we'll talk about later.
Oh no, you didn't.
Why
do you keep? I'll save it, but I can't believe you've done this.
Okay. Okay. So, and while I was over there trying to get to the parking lot, I saw cars buried. When I mean buried in snow, all I could see was like a little bit of the door, like the roof is covered, like you can't see the tires. I'm like, how do you want to get the car out of there? Because I'm thinking to myself, if snow removal needs to come get this snow, now they can't because your car's in the way. You know?
Yeah.
And
well,
I heard about this case yesterday.
In my parking lot, because where I live, there's a lot of old people, and I think one of my neighbors, or two of my neighbors, are dead, because since the snowstorm, their cars have not been cleared off, haven't been moved, and it's like, do you guys not have to go grocery shopping or anything? Like, I understand being retired, you don't have to go out very much, but you guys are going to starve to death.
It's possible that well, I mean, you could order food, you could order groceries. Uber does that now, or you can order from like Walmart. So maybe they're just like, listen, we're too old to be doing this. Let's just order.
But can you imagine
online
how expensive that is? Because the difference between a delivery order and a pickup order, especially through something like Uber, it's like $15-20.
Yeah, no, it's probably very expensive, but
all the fucking BS taxes and random tips and bonuses they throw in. It's like the Ticketmaster of food.
Yeah, honestly, you're not even. I like that. Ticketmaster food. I like that. That's really good. But there's a guy who died in his car. There's a guy who died in his car in Montreal. They don't know how long he was in there for, but someone heard the car was on, and it was covered in snow, and just like I was telling you, and he fucking died in his car.
He froze to death?
So no, they were able to get him out, and they got him to the hospital, but it was too late. He had already, I think he had carbon monoxide poisoning, because of course the engine smoke could not go anywhere because
The
the car was
exhaust
covered in snow. The
Okay.
exhaust was covered, so it goes back into the car, and that's probably how he died. So,
Funny
so I was
enough,
like, fuck
funny
that.
enough, I'm still not really used to backing up my boat, and so
Yeah,
I didn't hit, but like I went into the snowbank a little bit when I backed into my parking
Mm.
spot, and I immediately thought
Yeah.
like, what if it's blocking the exhaust? Because now since I figured out my key starter, I start the car about 10 minutes before leaving for work. So like, I don't want to leave the car
Yeah.
running with the exhaust blocked because there's no way that's good. So let me just move this
Yeah.
up about a foot just in case.
Yeah, no, it's good. Just
'Cause-
to check.
I don't know how
sure that
it would
the
work
holes-
exactly, because if your exhaust is covered, does that automatically mean all your car's exhaust goes into the cabin?
Well, basically, right, it's like your engine's underneath, but your ventilation system works with gasoline too, right? So it's gonna come through your vents
Okay.
because it's all connected, right? Because if you want heat, you need to use the gas in your car to make the air warm to push it through the ventilation system, but you also need gas for the engine, right? So it's all interconnected. So eventually, it's going to reach.
This is
Back
one of
into
those
your vent, it would
things
take-
I've been meaning to do research on, because I remember this one time my roommate, she claimed that heating your car takes gas or
It does.
uses more fuel, and I was like, that doesn't make any fucking sense. Because in my
No,
mind,
that's-
the way it works is like, well, you use fuel to run the engine, but then the engine is what creates the heat.
No, you are set. I mean, good idea, but no.
Well, the
No.
engine naturally gets hot, right?
Well, the engine helps because, like, I'm not sure. Never like blast your heat when the car is still cold, because the engine has to be warm. Because the engine's job is to produce that warmer air to push it into your ventilation system, but it still uses gasoline. Because it's basically like, imagine if, okay, put it like this: imagine you have a multiple legs for some bizarre reason, right? But you only need 2 legs to ride a bike. Well, let's just say you want to have that third leg to have a fan as you're riding. That's an extra leg that you have to use. That's more power that you have to use, and then you're gonna get hungry quicker, right? Now, let's just say you want to have a fan, but you also want to have a little spray water bottle, so that when you get really hot, you can spray water on yourself, so then you cool down. But that's the extra leg. Now you have 4 legs running, it gets even more tired. So it's like your car can just run by itself, but if you want the heat, it's gonna be using extra gas. It's not like a crazy amount. You're using, on average, maybe if you're doing like a 100-kilometer drive, you're gonna use about 10 kilometers more of gas if you have the heat on nonstop, and depending on how high you have it too. If you have it like me, when I don't really go past like halfway, because it's not necessary at that point. Put it to like 2 or 3, and it actually helps when you're driving faster because the air gets into your car quicker, and is able to it doesn't have to drag it. Your fan doesn't have to work to drag air in because there's so much air going into the car already. It actually does help. I swear to God. I promise you that.
But no, that's what my logic was. I assumed there was some sort of enclosed chamber in the engine bay,
I mean,
just
I'm
taking
pretty sure.
in the natural heat, and then it would just get pushed into the car, but it wouldn't have to take more fuel. That's what my logic
It's
was,
possible.
anyways.
It's possible. I'm pretty sure though I'm right, but I would have to,
Because for
have to
this
ask my
for this
mechanic.
logic though, AC would also use gas.
Yeah, it does. It does.
It does.
Yeah,
Okay.
but
I've
yeah,
never had
but
working AC in a car, so I don't know.
This is true. So you're gonna experience that for the first time in the summertime. Yeah, no. I think AC actually uses more than heat, if I'm correct.
That's what I would
Because
assume.
technically you have like the cold fan, but it's this lukewarm air, and you actually have like AC, you know. So, but yeah, no. So moving on from that, so I went. So I guess we'll get into it. I went to go see a movie. Patrick, what movie did you think I went to go see?
Captain African American.
Yeah, I went to go see Captain African
All right.
American.
What compelled you to give Disney more money for mediocre.
What compelled me?
Yeah.
It was mostly because it was a birthday present for my dad. So I was
Oh,
like,
is he like a big Anthony Mackie fan?
no, it's because he's blind. No, it's just because me and my dad up until Endgame, we watched every Marvel movie together.
At this point, it's like a tradition.
Yeah, so we're like, okay, might as well continue the tradition. Despite everything, it wasn't terrible.
That's what I'm hearing. Everyone's like, it's mediocre at best, or
Like-
as the kids say, it's mid, bro.
It's mid. Yeah,
That's
it's
what
mid,
they keep
bro.
saying.
It wasn't like I wasn't watching the movie going, please to God let this end. Like it wasn't like Thor 4, or it wasn't like anything that fucking Marvel made in the last, I want to say 2-3 years, like the Marvels or Captain Marvel, all that shit. Like it was a good film. Like it wasn't bad. The villain was cool. There's a couple twists and turns. It was realistic. Basically, what they're doing is they're restarting. That's all that they're doing here. They're just restarting, and they're making the brand new Avengers with a whole brand new cast. Basically, we're gonna see who gets included from the old cast, but from the looks of it, it looks like it's gonna be a whole new set of people.
Yeah,
So
from what I understand, most of the original cast is just done. Like they're fed up with it. They know it's no good anymore. There's no.
yeah, no,
There's
honestly,
no
because
pull.
right now,
Yeah.
from what I'm seeing, it's like it's gonna be Anthony Mackie being Captain America, and at the end, I'm gonna just do a quick. If you don't want to hear about this, skip in like the next 2-3 minutes. I'll give you a second. Basically, at the very end, of course they still keep the end credit scenes as they're known for, and the villain in this movie says, "Are you ready? Because heroes are coming to this planet, and you gotta be ready to fight." And what are you saying? I'm going. Who's the villain gonna be? Probably Doctor Doom. I don't fucking know. We're gonna see. Is it gonna be Robert Downey Jr. playing Doctor Doom? I fucking hope so, because then at least that'll be interesting. But yeah, so it was. I would give it a very low passing 6. However, I will give Cineplex a fucking 9
For the
for the
popcorn.
VIP treatment.
Oh, okay.
No, popcorn. Well, popcorn's really good, but we went to the newest VIP Cineplex, which is at the this old building in Montreal called the Old Forum. And Patrick, these seats recline. You could like almost like not like lay down, but like lounge basically, like the way that you're sitting, and the seats heat up. Bro, I was in heaven.
That's nice.
Yeah, no, I was sitting there. I was like, oh fuck, this is nice, because I've done VIP at like the one in Brossard over here,
Dog shit.
and it's okay.
What
like,
a waste
like,
of money. I don't think I've ever had a positive experience there. I think I've gone 3 or 4
Oh, really?
times. Okay, no, I had one positive experience, but I was there to see a documentary, so it was a little
Okay.
different. That was the
Okay, yeah.
only time it was like good. And the other 2
No,
times,
I think every
awful.
time I went was pretty good. I actually like even ordered food one time, and the nuggets and fries were actually like nice. But I think if I have to go to like another VIP, I think I'm gonna pick this one. The theaters are smaller. There's not as many seats, right? Because you have to be able to like lay back, and it even has like the leg recliner and stuff.
Mhm.
But it's just like, you have to reserve and all that stuff. But it was fun. We had a really good time, and it wasn't that bad. The movie that I'm anticipating is the one with I never remember this fucking guy's name. He's the one who played Queen. Freddie Mercury, sorry.
Rami Malek.
Yeah. He's a movie coming out in April that looks fucking good with the guy from the Matrix, the black
Keanu
guy.
Reeves? Oh, Lawrence
No.
Fishburne.
Yeah, Lawrence
Oh, the guy from the
Keanu Reeves.
Matrix. I'm like, really? That's who you think of Keanu Reeves from? That's great. And then, no, Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, no, Lawrence Fishburne, because no, we can go on and on. But there's that one, and I also wanted to watch the other one. It was a Chinese guy. It's like he's a retired like kung fu fighter, but now he like sells like real estate. I think it's called Love Hurts or something like that. That I saw that I might try and see if I can find.
Who's in that?
But,
It's not Jackie Chan, is it?
I don't think it's Jackie Chan. Let me take a quick.
Well, didn't you see the trailer at the theater?
No, it wasn't there actually. Funny enough,
Oh,
I thought
okay,
it was
okay.
gonna be there, and it wasn't. No, it's Ken. Oh Jesus, I'm gonna fucking
Ken
butcher this
Watanabe?
poor guy's name. Yeah, no, Ken Hugh Kwan.
Oh yeah, I can see how you fucked that up. Okay.
Yeah, it's a Kehuy Kwan.
Huy Kwan.
Yeah, I fucking dude, I don't know how to say his name, but yeah, okay. Is it already out? Did it come out? It did come out. Oh, it didn't get a very good score at all.
I
Holy
remember
shit, I
that
got a terrible
happens.
score.
I remember Isaiah wanted to see The Foreigner with Jackie Chan, and he's like, "Oh, I can't wait for that to come out." I'm like, Isaiah, it came out like 3 months ago, and he's like, "What?"
No, but it got really bad reviews. Jesus, it got like 18% on Rotten Tomatoes, 5.4 IMDb, Metacritic gave it 34%. Oh, that sucks. I heard it was.
Yeah.
It looked pretty good. Damn, now I'm not excited to see it anymore, but
There's
whatever.
very few movies I get excited for these days, because often you're either
No, I agree.
disappointed, or it's like, oh, I'll just wait for streaming.
Yeah.
Because like there's only like maybe 2 things three that I can think of off the top of my head that I would like go out of my way to a theater to see, and that would be the last Tarantino movie, which hasn't even been announced yet.
Yeah, for sure.
I would want to see the next Avatar in theaters, because that's like the reason it's made.
Yeah, for sure.
The story isn't great, but the visuals and the world are really
Yeah.
cool, so you got to see that on the big screen. And what was the third one? What was the third? Avatar. Oh, Dune 3.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. No, I agree with you. I mean, like I said, it's a virtual meme that I go see Marvel movies. We said, fuck it, let's just go see it.
Did he enjoy it?
I did not leave the theater going, God, that sucked. Like, at least there was that. I didn't go, oh my God, wow. Because we were like reminiscing. We're really sad that like Iron Man died, because that's me and my dad's favorite superhero is Iron Man.
Of course,
you know,
of course. Classic.
And I've watched the 3 movies. Third one not as many times, but
the
first
third one
two,
is
like,
upsetting how like good it could have been, and then you just switch the villain for no reason. It's like, God, what?
I know, it's so like I hate that.
Dude, I remember in the theater, I was like, "That's funny," and then 2 minutes later, I was like, "Wait."
Yeah, I can't wait. No, like the first two are like, oh my, like yo, it's just so fucking good. And Robert just plays that role to a fucking T, man. Like, it's one of the few times, like that one, and maybe Tom Holland plays Spider-Man, because he's so like nonchalant about it, and that's how Spider-Man should be.
That's one of my complaints about recent, I guess movies in general, but mostly the Marvel movies. They don't feel like movies anymore. They feel like products, and I feel like that started with Avengers. Like they started getting very clean and very like dully shot, because if you look at especially Tom Holland Spider-Man, good scripts, good acting, good movie overall, but if you look at the direction, the cinematography, and just the visual style, it's very flat and boring. If you you just compare that to Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, just in terms of visual style, like yes, you could say like, oh, well, he was going for a campy tone and all, like, well, yeah, but I'm not talking about like the song sequence when he gives us Spider-Man. I'm referring to specifically the shots, the angles, and how everything is composed visually. You can see a visual style in every scene.
I guess that's true, because even like in Anthony Garfield's version, it's like, you know, you would never think like that scene where Glenn's falling. You're thinking, oh, she's gonna live, and she fucking snaps her neck, and you're like, oh shit.
And dude, the web that looks like a hand, I was like, that's pretty great. I like that a lot. That was a good touch.
It's a great action shot, and it's one of the few times in the movie where you're caught off guard, because you're like, surely she doesn't die. She's the love interest. That's how movies were supposed to go. The love interest almost dies, and they'll have happily ever after. And then boom, like, no, actually she's gonna fucking die. And you're like, oh shit, like it throws you. It kind of takes you out of your predictability, and then that throws you off for the rest of the movie, because now you don't know where the movie's gonna go. You start like getting really involved with it, because then you're starting to go, oh fuck, like where is this going? How is he gonna end it? That's what I loved about Infinity War. You know, with Thanos snapping his fingers, I left the theater upset, but not like a bad upset, but like I cannot believe I just watched the villain win. Like, that's not normal, and it fucks with your heart, because you're so used to watching them win, you know? So it's like, that's why everyone came up for Endgame, because you're like, you want to see them win now. Like, you have no choice, and it gets so close to him losing that you start to give up a little bit. You know, it really though that whole I was watching a video, like a very short 5-minute video about the decline of Marvel, and I mean, for all the other purposes, that video could have been at least 45 minutes and close to an hour. But there's one thing that he brought up that I thought was very important, and he was saying every good movie needs a good villain, and if you don't have a good villain, I feel like the movie can't give you exactly what it wants. And like I was thinking about that in the smallest of forms. Me and my mom used to we watched Law and Order, and there was a good segment of like 10 to 12 episodes where they have a villain, and I've never wanted to watch Law and Order more during that time. He was such a fucking great villain, just an evil fucking asshole, that I wanted to punch him. I was like, man, I fucking want to hate this guy, but it was so well done. I was like, wow. And I think that's what Thanos is. Like, he's such a great villain, and they tease you and string you along for so many like movies that when you see, you're like, oh fuck, like it's amazing, you know?
Yeah, I always thought Thanos was kind of awkward until Infinity War, because
yeah, and then you're like, oh.
Well, no, since
guy's
Avengers, you'd seen like a few shots, maybe a scene. But he kept changing in appearance.
That's true. Yeah. They can like upgrade him.
And I was always like, okay, fucking weird purple guy. That's okay. But then finally, in Infinity War, you're like, oh, that's great. He's a pretty cool character. And Josh Brolin killed it as Thanos. Oh,
he plays. Oh my god, his voice was fit for that character. I did also see the trailer for Man of Steel, and it looks we'll see what happens.
Well, it's not Man of Steel, but I don't know. What do they call it?
Oh, whatever.
Superman. Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't read it. I saw it. I was like, okay, guys. I saw it. Was like, yeah. Let's see what you do with every other movie.
I was annoyed with that one because it starts off really good. I'm like, this is the kind of Superman I want to see. I want to see a hopeful Superman just doing like not giant like saving the world kind of thing, but I was thinking more along the lines of what's his name? Reeves? I want to say Keanu, but no, it's not Keanu. What the fuck's his name?
No,
you know the one
I know what your name. Yeah.
The one from the 70s. Like, it's very campy, but the Superman in that, he's so average dude, but like really inspiring and hopeful and incredibly nice.
Yeah.
Whereas Henry Cavill's, as much as I love Henry Cavill and I think he would be a perfect Superman, that Superman was incredibly depressing. And
you know, it's fucking sad.
I remember the montage. He's saving people, and he looks miserable as fuck.
Yeah, thank you, Superman. He's like, I'm gonna go kill myself now. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Like,
you're welcome, random citizen. Well, excuse me while I cut myself.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just take up some kryptonite, starts like touching yourself with it. Like, what are you doing? Like, I don't want to be here anymore. It's like, why is I don't? And even like this is. Did you see the trailer for the new one? It's the same thing. It's like super sad.
Well, that's the thing. It started out.
At him.
Started out good, like we got the dog and all that, and then it just turns into like non-stop action. So many villains, Superman looking downtrodden and like dying, and you got the America's in turmoil, and they're throwing shit at Superman. It's like, okay, so he's just not doing that. Like, you got the look of it. Like his suit's bright. He looks like a regular dude, kind of.
Yeah.
And then you're just flipping it back to where it was. That's not.
I don't understand.
Cool.
Like I said, I'm not looking forward to seeing if I even do see it. To be honest with you, so we'll see.
I don't care for superhero movies anymore. Like, even if they knock it out of the park and everyone's like, "Oh, you got to see this," I'm like, "Do I?"
Okay.
I've seen 27 or 39 movies like this. I think I'm good.
True.
The only thing I would actually might go out of my way to see would be another Tom Holland Spider-Man. That's the only one I'd be like, let's go.
Yeah. I'm gonna see it just for Zendaya. Which, you know that they're making a third season of Euphoria, right? You know that's coming out, so I can't wait to hear.
I gave up on that. No, I gave up halfway through season 2 or whatever. We talked. Remember? Remember my fucking my rants and shit. I was like, I can't do this anymore. The show's incredibly frustrating.
Did you have anything to add before I go into my little political corner?
I just can't get over this. Did you know Captain America's budget? You know what it was?
No.
$400 million.
Holy shit! And that they could have done better than what the fuck I saw.
Dude, no,
by the way,
it was reshot like 3 times, and it was originally supposed to be a series on Disney Plus, and they changed it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I think a lot of money went to having Bucky cameo for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, everyone's memeing
Um,
that. It's like, wait, so you're running for like Congress or some shit? Like, didn't you try to
yeah.
assassinate a bunch of people? And aren't you a Russian operative in a way? That's kind
And
of
not
like
only
a
that, but
conflict of
there's
national
gonna
security, isn't it?
there's gonna be a movie coming out where it's Bucky leading like I like to call them Avengers B Squad. It's like all these guys who are just normal people who help Bucky and they start saving people. I was like,
Is that the Thunderbolts or whatever?
yeah,
Okay.
Thunderbolts.
It's supposed to be
Yeah.
like a Marvel Suicide Squad apparently.
Yeah,
Because
basically.
you know
No, that's
Suicide Squad
100% what
was
it is.
so good.
I know, right? They're doing such a good job following that trend. So
Did you see the
it'd be great.
second Suicide Squad?
No, God, no.
It's a
No.
lot better than the first, much better.
Okay, well,
And
you
honestly,
can only go from the ground up. Like,
that's a fact. But Jamal, you have
Yeah.
I implore you to just watch the first 10 minutes. I think it's the most and loudest I've ever laughed in a superhero movie.
okay,
The funniest joke in superhero history, and it's,
okay. If I just gotta watch the first 10 minutes, then I'll definitely like torrent.
no,
it
I
and
don't
find
have to.
it.
I don't have to tell you anything. I don't have to give you any hints. Like, what's so funny?
No,
Like, you're gonna know.
I'll just sit down with it.
It'll
I'll sit down
happen,
with
and
it.
you'd be like, "Dude, this is great."
Okay,
And
all right.
it's one of those scenes you just think about it. I'm like, I can't help but smile and giggle to myself. That's hilarious.
That's funny. All right, I'll definitely. You have my interest. I'll definitely have to take a look at that. But going to my little political corner. I'm not sure we're gonna have enough time to talk about our neighbors down south, but I will be able to talk about our neighbors up north, which is just us. First of all, let's go with. Are you ready for our new prime minister? Which is gonna be another white guy. So nothing's changed.
Don't know,
But
don't know
Mark Carney.
why you being racist. That was pretty racist.
It's gonna be another white guy. What do you mean? How that racist?
Well, why you even bringing his skin color into it? That's kind of weird.
Well, because the last guy was white, so this guy's also gonna be white.
But why
So
does that
I'm just
matter?
like,
Are you okay, Jamal?
everyone's like, oh, like it's a new change. Because I'll explain to you why. I'll tell you this now, and then you'll see later how it connects.
I think you're.
Mark Carney.
No, but seriously, Joe, are you okay? Because you made
I'm fine.
not last the episode before last episode. You made some pretty racist comments, and now here you go again.
Yes.
Are you? Who hurt you?
I'm telling you, this one's gonna make sense even more than the others.
All right.
So basically, Mark Carney, I'm not sure if you know who that is. He is the former national banker. I think it's banker of Canada.
Was he a former carnival worker? Why is his name Carney?
I have no clue. But he's not that. Basically, he put his hat in the ring versus Christian Freeland, who was the finance minister for Trudeau, who then quit and now wants his job. So the classic South Park kind of job line could be used here. She was in there with 3 other participants, but it seems like Carney is running away with this thing. Like, he has way more money under his belt as like support, and it seems that it's already, the Conservatives are already gearing up to attack him. They already like made like a political ad against him. So when the other parties are starting to make ads against you, it's because that you're going to win. There are 2 debates happening next week, one in English, one in French, held here in Montreal, Quebec. But it seems that he is going to be the next prime minister automatically since Trudeau resigned. So why am I saying that this is another white guy and nothing's changed? It's because of the fact that the polling, which is the we have a thing called nanos, which is, it's basically predictional polling of what the next federal election will look like, right? 2 months ago, the Conservatives had 25-point lead over the Liberals. Do you want to guess how much they have now, Patrick?
How much do they have now?
9.
Okay.
They went from 25 to 9 just because another guy took Trudeau's spot. For me personally, Polyev has kind of fell off for me. I will admit that. But
Really?
for people to just go, oh, Trudeau's no longer running, okay, I'm voting Liberal, is a little bit much for me. It's still the same ideologies. It's just a new person running it. Now, maybe he might change some stuff. I don't know. I'm not him. But based on what I'm hearing, the only thing that he's gonna do differently is axe the carbon tax. which, in short, all that is, it's just gonna hurt countries like Alberta and Saskatchewan who use natural gas as a resource to make money, and they would tax that, basically, because we want to save the planet. That's basically all that the carbon tax is. So for me, it's like I still will probably vote liberal just because of the fact of how Polyev has been these last couple of weeks. But I'm just not nervous, but just the fact that everyone's like, oh, okay, it's no longer Trudeau, I'm gonna vote for liberal, is a little bit much if you're not doing your research, I feel. But yeah. So besides that, Doug Ford, who was the leader of the Ontario Party, called an election in Ontario.
Hold up.
I think this guy really
is Doug Ford the guy who got the camera in the face?
I want to say yeah.
Or is that Rob Ford?
He's a big white guy.
Yeah. He came out of a press conference and walked right into a camera.
That's okay, I'm pretty sure it's Doug. Rob, I think Rob's his dad. I don't remember. Anyways.
Okay.
But basically, Doug Ford. This is something like a egotistical move. He already had majority government in Ontario, and he just called an election to do it again. I'm like, why? I was like, he has like a substantial lead. And I'm like, why would you even call an election? You already have majority government. What did you want? He just wants to flex. I think that's what he wants to do. He just legit just wants to flex. But the last thing I'm gonna say, and I find this actually really cute, and I really find it heartwarming. But I also will leave off with the question I want you to answer. So, ever since Trump took office and was this tariffs and the 51 state, all this stuff, being myself, I've never seen Canada so unified, ever. And you know it's bad, or you know we're unified when Quebec's on board. That's how you know you've done something, because there's a flag store here in Quebec that sells Canadian flags. Store? Flag store.
Oh, I heard something
else.
Sorry.
Drag store? What did you hear? Drag?
Oh,
I know what you heard. No, it's not that.
Took a second.
No, flag. And basically, they sell, of course, as you would guess, all types of flags. Now, they don't really sell many Canadian flags until Canada Day. They ran out last week because we had National Flag Day about last week. Quebecers are hanging Canadian flags all over Quebec, which is crazy because that never happens. Ever. The whole country basically is unifying themselves against the Americans. We're making trade talks with Europe now, and we're also trying to break down age-old barriers between provinces to trade more efficiently through provinces. I'm not sure if you knew this. You know that only 5% of goods are traded within Canada? Like all the provinces together, it's only 5%.
So low.
Yeah, because of the fact that we have so many different regulations when it comes to pesticides being used in our food, or certain degrees of microplastics being put in the food or stuff like that. Like we have different degrees that each province or territory is cool with, basically. So now we're trying to figure out a general overall number that we're all okay with, so we can trade more within our own country. Because we have a lot of resources. We have the most natural resources ever, and we're not even using it within each other. So that's been really, really cool to see. But I will also say this. Recently, the Four Nations kicked off, which is the Four Nations of hockey. So that's Sweden, Finland, America, and Canada. Where Americans are clearly the non-favorite, at all. How do you feel about them booing the national anthem? How do you feel about that?
What, the Canadians booing the American national anthem?
Yes.
That's pretty rude, disrespectful.
Okay, so I'm glad we're on the same page.
I would say unsportsmanlike, you know? Yeah,
okay. I'm glad they're on the same page for this one, because I really have to agree with you on that. I was very upset. Because 4 of the games were held here at the Bell Centre, Montreal. And every time the Americans went out, it was non-stop booing during the whole anthem, and it wasn't like a little bit of booing. Like the guy was singing and you can't even hear him. That's how loud they were booing.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Like they really, and like I said, it's one of those things where it's like you gotta understand that America's been here for a long time. Maybe you just don't like the America currently. It doesn't mean that you don't like the America beforehand, right? So it's like for you to be booing that is a disrespect to the men and women who lost their lives fighting for that country. You know, I think it's still a sign of respect. Yeah, okay, you may not see eye to eye on a lot of things right now, but it doesn't mean that you have to be, you know, rude. It's like, you know, how you and me debate between Trump. You know, imagine every time you say something, I'm like, boo, you're fucking wrong, boo. It's like, no, I'm gonna hear out what you're saying, and some stuff you do make sense, some stuff I disagree with, but I'm gonna respect you. I'm not gonna be like, you know, like, oh, fuck off, you know? So, it sucks. I really disagree with that. I'm not against at all having a unified Canada and wanting to be proud of being Canadian. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, that's something I always wanted to, like, because you don't really feel patriotism when it comes to being Canadian.
No. Yeah.
We just kind of have syrup, poutine, we call it a day.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. But it really has been nice. I gotta say, like, I even downloaded an app, and I mean, it depends on where you stand with the whole terrorist and stuff like that. If you want to download it too, it's called Buy Canadian. I'm gonna be using it today actually, because I'm gonna be going grocery shopping afterwards. And it basically, you just scan the item in front of your phone and it'll tell you if the product is Canadian or not. And I'm gonna start doing that. I really am gonna start trying to buy locally. Really try and buy more local goods.
That's a very good thing to do. I wish the government cared that much.
I really wish. Yeah, I really wish. I think now they're going to start just because of what's going on with Trump. But I'm feeling a nice sense of pride being Canadian, and a lot of Canadians are. This is really affecting a lot of Canadians. They were talking about. I'm not sure if you heard about it. 25% of planes traveling to the United States from Canada were canceled because of a lack of people wanting to go on the plane. A lot of cancellations. Over 55% of cancellations to America, or having their flights redirected elsewhere. A lot of Canadians are doing this. Are really going against the Americans right now, and I think it's gonna be good. I really think it's gonna be good. And as much as I don't really agree with the whole tariffs and stuff like that, and we've spoken a lot about tariffs 2 weeks ago, I think it's a wake-up call for Canada, just for the fact that we relied so much on the Americans, like an absurd amount, that it took a president to push us in a different direction, an uncomfortable direction, I guess you could say, that I think it's actually a good thing that we start looking at other partners, like Europe, for example, which is a fucking big continent, to start working trades with. Like, I don't know why we haven't done that many years ago. We could be fucking rich.
Yeah,
but we were so like comfortable. We were so comfortable with like, oh, but they're so close and it's cheap. It's like, okay, but like, imagine if they don't want us to. Now this is happening, but now it's like we have to rush because of the tariffs coming in, you know.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because the more independent a country is, the more successful it can be. Because if you're always relying on someone else, they can easily manipulate you and get what they want. So.
Exactly. So, but the only thing I want to say before I leave this off about Trump, because this makes no fucking sense, and I just don't quite understand where he sees this. So he's been having talks with Putin, right, to try and settle the Ukrainian war. But he said this one line that just makes no sense to me at all. He said that Ukraine started the war. Please tell me where that is true.
With that, Ukraine started the war with Russia.
Yeah. Please show me where it's true. Please tell me.
I don't know.
Because it's not. Because Russia legit rolled up on the line and just stormed in one day. There is no like Ukrainian going, we want to fight Russia. No, they don't want to do anything. Russia just showed up one day and said, nah, ours now.
Ukraine
Basically,
didn't,
that's it.
didn't what do you call that? Like antagonize or anything?
No, nothing. They did
Huh.
nothing.
It's one of those
So-
things where you don't really hear about it anymore.
And that's scary.
It's
Because
weird.
the fact that he said that, and I know there's some redneck idiots who fucking believe that shit. And that's fucking wild. Because it's not. It really is not. The only thing that I could say who started this war would be America. Because Ukraine took land. The land that Russia claimed originally used to be Russian many years ago. Right? And then when we had, I don't know what war it was or something like that. Ukraine suddenly had that land, basically.
Well, that's
And
what
it's
I
kinda
meant.
like
That's what I meant. Like, did they
I
antagonize?
understand that,
So
but
maybe
that wasn't Ukraine's doing. That was the Americans
But
doing.
you just said Ukraine took it.
Yes, was the Americans. The Americans said, "We're gonna give you this land, Ukraine, because you need it." And the Ukraine said, "Okay," but it wasn't like Ukraine was going, "America, we want this land." No, America kept pushing, taking more and more land from Russia, and Russia got fed up. So if anyone who started this war would be the Americans. Ukraine had nothing to do with this. What also pisses me off is that they're having talks about ending this war. Tell me why Ukraine's not in the room when they're trying to end it. Ukraine's the main guy, and they're not even in talks of negotiation.
So it's just Trump and Putin then?
Yeah, which makes no sense. Because I understand Trump did say that he doesn't want the other European countries there. That one I agree with. No other country needs to really be involved besides the two countries going at it. But the fact that Ukraine's not in there makes no sense. That part makes no sense to me. You should have the main guy in the room. Like, I don't understand that part. So we're gonna see. I don't know. It's very early in their talks, so I guess we're gonna figure out. I think I predicted this, and I even said this before Trump became president. I even said the only way I see this ending is that Ukraine will have to compromise by the land that Russia already taken. That they're just gonna hang on to that.
Yeah, because
And then-
even like just think about it. How do you even reconcile a situation like this? Like, we want both sides to obviously, both sides to stop fighting, but Russia's going to be like, well, we want something out of this, and it's like, well,
Exactly,
you can't just give it to them, because that's then
Yeah.
you're basically telling them, oh, you can just do whatever you want, and then you'll get your way. It's like a child, right? You can't just you can't just meet their demands because they won't stop arguing or
Trying
yelling
or
about it,
whatever.
right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. So it's gonna be interesting. I'm pretty sure that's what they're gonna do though, and Ukraine will not get NATO status. That's I think those are two agreements, which is what's probably gonna happen. So it's gonna be interesting.
Well, it's just-
that will be.
It's kind of crazy because I some video I saw, and they're talking about like how territory disputes don't really happen anymore, and essentially in modern times, everyone just said this is the map, this is how
That's
it's gonna
it.
stay. So basically, if
Yeah.
your country sucks because you have like bad land, you just can't expand.
Yeah.
So you're essentially stuck
Yeah.
the size you are. So
Yeah.
I don't really know the contents of Russia, like in terms of their exports and all that. But let's just say, for example, that they have shit resources and they can't really do
No,
anything. If you want to actually take care of your
Yeah.
people and shit, you don't really have much of a choice other than to go out of your way. Like you could,
Yeah.
I guess, make.
Well, I mean, a lot of it is frozen tundra, but they make good stuff. They have like a lot of oil. They're not bad. They're not like a crazy export. They import more than they export. That's for sure. But they do export a good solid bit. They're not like really bad or anything like that.
No.
But
I think the problem is when you're essentially living in the shadow of what can basically be compared to like Elysium. Like, it's always hanging over your head, like, look at the potential quality of life we could have.
Yeah.
And like, to try and obtain that through any means necessary is what it comes down to. Because if you're constantly... It's like people on social media. You keep seeing, oh, all these people are leading great lives, and then I'm just here. Just here.
Working.
I'm just here.
No,
Obviously, you're going to
get that
compare.
part.
Because if you look like 100, 200 years ago, you wouldn't know the other side of the planet is like living 10 times better than you.
Yeah, for sure.
So you'd be content with what you have.
Yeah.
But now it's
but
comparison.
now that you know, yeah.
Yeah. So
It's gonna be interesting. I don't know. I mean, they're still in very early talks, so it'll probably be in the next coming weeks that we'll talk about this again, and then we'll probably have a more clearer answer of what they're going to be doing with this whole war. But with all that being said and done, this was Flabbergasted by Audacity. I'm Jamal,
I'm Patrick.
and we'll see you guys next week.
The decision rests with you. Rests with you.